Hi YouTube. So today I'm going to talk about what you need to breed African cichlids and how to do it. So this is actually going to be the first video of a few videos of a series to show you guys how to do it in depth. So this first video, what I want to talk about is what you'll actually need. So all the requirements, the supplies, materials, like tanks, heater, filter, all the different things that you'll need for a successful time breeding the fish. Now, to start off, one of the most obvious ones is the tank. Now, depending on what type of fish you breed and how many you want to breed at once, this can vary, but for example, with yellow labs or something in the 5-inch or so range, I would suggest at least a 36-gallon tank. 36-gallon tank is suitable for a trio, for one male and two females. If you want to get more than that, I suggest a 60-gallon tank. You don't want anything too big, or else the fish might not be swimming together all the time. Now, in addition to that one tank for the breeding, you also have to commit yourself to get at least 2 other tanks. Now, what I suggest is to have a 10-gallon tank for your females when they're holding. Unless you want to strip the eggs and have the eggs in an egg tumbler, you'd actually still need that. But I suggest a 10-gallon tank to move the females into, so they're not stressed out by the male and they could release successfully without the babies being eaten. Now, one 10-gallon tank per every 2 females. I suggest this because the male won't breed with just one female. It'll breed with all of them in the tank, and you'll get a lot of babies that way. Now, in addition to that 10-gallon tank and the breeding tank, I suggest the grow-out tank. So, again, with about a 5-inch fish, you're going to get about 50 or so babies, depending on the type and the actual fish itself. But if you get about 50 babies, you're going to want at least a 60-gallon tank. You could grow them out to about 3 inches or so there before you sell them. So, to recap with the tanks, you're going to need at least a 36-gallon tank if you're going to breed a trio, or at least a 60 if you're going to breed more. You're going to need a 10-gallon tank for every 2 females to hold them when they're releasing, and then you're going to need about a 60-gallon tank for the grow out. The bigger the tank, the better for the grow out, but you could leave the babies in the 10-gallon tank until then. At the beginning. So I'll talk more about that in detail later on. After you have your tank, another obvious thing is a heater. So heating is very important when you're breeding fish. Sorry if you can't really see that. I have a dark background to limit stress. But heating is very important, not to keep them warm, but to keep it consistent. Because the fish will only breed when they feel comfortable, and if the temperature is changing a lot, they won't feel comfortable. After the heater, I suggest a filter. I have a hang-on back filter. Again, you can't really see it, it's a little dark, but you don't want anything crazy powerful. You do want something that'll successfully turn over your tank 5 or 6 times per hour, but you don't want anything way too powerful because it'll not allow them to settle down and feel comfortable again. Average suitable size filter for your tank would be what they would recommend normally. Normally I'd recommend an overfilter. For breeding, not so much. In addition to the heater, filter, and tank, you're going to want hiding spots. And now this is definitely a necessity for breeding. In my tank, this is my actual breeding setup. I have a breeding pair of yellow labs, and it's a 36-gallon tank. But what I do have is this huge piece of driftwood and a few rocks. The female always hides throughout there, and it allows her to relax from the male when she wants to. After the hiding spot and after all the supplies that you have, you're going to want to get a background and something dark, I suggest. Again, it makes them feel more secure because it's a smaller area. And then to go with darkness is when you want them to actually breed, or after the female's holding, I would suggest you turn off the light, because by doing that, when you turn off the light, the male won't be able to attack her. You don't want to move her into her new tank until a few weeks after, because until like a week after she's holding, because if you move it too early, she'll get stressed out and she might swallow or spit out the eggs. And this is jumping a little bit, but with a new pair or new holder, new female, you can expect that for the first 1 or 2 times that she'll actually kill the batch of babies, but they will get better, trust me. After you have all the material goods, I definitely recommend having a buyer or a place that you can get rid of the babies once you actually have them. If you follow these steps, you will get so many babies. I personally get, out of my 125-gallon tank with about 60 adults, I personally get about 100 per week. And luckily I do have a buyer for that. But if I didn't, that would be a trouble to worry about. And then after all that's said and done, I definitely recommend having a lot of time, and you have to be committed to this. It's a big investment for you. It will pay for itself if you stay committed to it. But you really need to believe in what you're doing and want to do it, because if you kind of get tired of doing it, it's going to be hard to get rid of all the things. So thank you guys for watching this first video. The next video that I'm going to talk about in this series is going to be how to actually get them to breed. So be sure to check that video out. Hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good one.